Hello and welcome to another Gags Tandon show. 3 for 3, 3 wins out of 3 on this show, and I'm joined by a very good friend of mine today. Welcome back to Anfield Index, Andy Wales. Andy, how you doing, bud, after that one?
I'm the classic Klopp one, the meme. Wow. I'm almost lost for words of that. That was fantastic. That really was fantastic. Just before we went on, I said to you, didn't I? That was the first half was like peak era Klopp. That it just tremendous. And I'm on cloud nine. I mean, it's Christmas come early.
It is Christmas come early, to be honest. I mean, let's quickly talk about that first half. It was absolutely incredible. And I'm actually going to just bring up some of these numbers here to go through. Let's actually just do this from the first half here. Look at that. 1.58 expected goals to 0.07. I mean, that's a piss take, Andy, in the first half, because that's really where our focus should be, is talking about, because the second half was a bit more level and a bit more, free. But let's talk about that first half. How amazing. I mean, that's probably the best half of football from an honest stat side for Liverpool.
Hands down. For me, that's our best first half of the season, and comfortably so. And I would go so far as to say that's one of the best first halves of football we've seen from a Liverpool team for quite some time. I mean, like I said to you, like that's like peak era Klopp. When we used to just blow teams away in the first 20, 30 minutes, and that was it, game over. The only thing that was lacking in that first half was the goals that we absolutely deserved.
And that's what we should.
Yeah.
I mean, let's. I think what people will want to talk about or want to hear us talk about is what it means, really. First and foremost, as a reaction, that's incredibly huge after the Arsenal result yesterday. And I was just saying to a few folks, or at least I was saying in our Discord server, and if you're not in there, please do get into our Discord. AnfieldIndex.com/Discord for the invite. I was just saying in there that, for Liverpool, from Arsenal, it's about grinding us down, right? They got to keep on winning, grinding Liverpool down. But from Liverpool's point of view, it's to keep on winning and kill their hope. So it's the grind versus the hope at the moment. And what we've got to do is keep grinding and killing their hope, if that makes sense, whilst they grind as well. So that's what it is now. I think City, they can get back into it, but it's going to need a colossus drop off from both teams to do that. And whereas Arsenal only 2 points ahead of them, they look like they're in great form with Odegaard back. Now, at the end of the day, he's going to have to play every game, and he's becoming a little bit injury prone. So I'm hoping I don't wish bad things on people, but let's hope, he can't play every game.
Well, no, I hope he does, and they still drop points.
Yeah,
because then they don't have the lame excuse of, well, if Odegaard wasn't, if Odegaard was playing, we'd have got Olympic. No, they have got to be near perfect now. I mean, we've seen some of them stats. I know Simon Brundish was putting out the stats in terms of the points per game, where the teams are at the moment, where we are so far, what it would take in order to get to 90 points this season. And we're well ahead of the track on that. We can afford to start dropping some points as we go along. It's bound to happen. Obviously, we don't want it to, but Arsenal have got to be near perfect, above levels that they've never attained before. So, the talk about the pressure, and the pressure's on us now, an expectation of Liverpool, you're top of the league, you're clear. The expectation is you've got to have to, keep this up and win the league. No, the pressure is on the teams chasing us now, because they have got to keep getting results and hope that we drop points. So the pressure really is on them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've still got some tough games. We've got 2 away games now, actually. We don't have many. I heard it on commentary. We don't have many home games at all, really, in the league now for a while, I think. So this next set of fixtures still is tough. Newcastle away, Everton away, still. But when you can do the type of stuff we've done against the Real Madrids and the Man Cities, we need to be as up for those games as well. But let's get back to this game. Incredible first half. I mean, I think we should. I mean, I know the XG was only 1.58, but I think we should have been up by way more. We. I mean, let's talk about some of those chances. Majority, there was a couple of set pieces. You were going to talk about them. I think the Van Dijk ones.
Yeah, Virgil could have had a hat trick.
Yes,
it's insane. Is that it's the thing for me was it was that like this season it's mostly been about first halves have been a little bit tentative, feeling our way into the games, a little bit sloppy at times maybe, and we get through to halftime and then we turn it up a notch in the second half. And second halves we've looked like a team that is clear at the top of the league, but not so much the first halves. Today, totally flipped around. I mean, we were sensational. That them opening 10 minutes, for me, it was the intensity and the tempo that we were playing at. When we play like that, there's no team in the world that can like hang with us. Even Real Madrid, midweek, were struggling to contain us when we up that tempo and that intensity. And we started like that. We were at them. And the great thing was as well, so it's Anfield, under the lights, a big game, and the crowd normally are right up for it. And the crowd were right along. And it was almost like, they were together. The performance and the crowd, it was there. It was in synergy, and it was just sensational. It was building and building and building to the point where the goal came. And yeah, like you said, set pieces. So many good set pieces today. We look so dangerous from set pieces.
Yeah, I mean, great save. I think the replay did show the keeper got a touch for that one header that went against the post. The one that he put wide, Van Dijk, was just, what are you doing with that one? And he was smacking the floor as well. So I mean, it was just,
you could read his lips as he's getting up, wasn't it? How? Yeah, Virgil, how?
Chance after chance. Sometimes in the second half as well, some offsides in there that were just like, why are you offside there? What are you doing? And then, I mean, I think the second goal actually, kind of represents the whole game where we just pressed them that first half. Second, I mean, that's a shadow of any City side I've ever seen, to be fair. I mean, you take one player out of their team and it's gone to shit. Now, you look at Joe Gomez coming for Konate, and let's be honest, we lost Alisson, who's as vital to us as any Liverpool fan would say is vital to us, and Kelleher has stepped up. Today, Joe Gomez was fantastic. I thought Verge was great as well until that last error right at the end of the game where he needed De Bruyne in, so I wouldn't give him my man of the match for that either. But for Joe to come in such a big game like that and then play the way he did, absolutely fantastic from Joe. So, I like I said, it's testament to the squad and the players and the energy these guys have got, that they've that they just come in and perform without players like Ibu and Konate and Jota. At the end of the day, Gakpo and Diaz as well. Diaz is not playing in a favoured position, Andy. And today, I know he didn't get many chances, but he worked his ass off today.
Yes.
Jesus.
I think that was a common theme, that was a good thing from everyone. There wasn't a single player on that pitch that didn't put a shift in for us. Everyone worked their socks off as part of that performance. I mean, just when you're talking about players that we've missed and whatnot, what were your thoughts then in terms of the selections at the start? What did you think when you saw that City team? Gvardiol and Edison dropped. Like you say, we know they're not in a good spot at the moment, but were you surprised to see them two drop like that?
Well, I couldn't believe that he didn't play the wingers either, to be honest, because they seemed like in the second half they gave us so much trouble, Andy. Doku especially is one of my favorite players to watch sometimes. I know can be hit and miss, but he's he's just dangerous every time he got the ball, and I thought Trent did well with him. But yeah, I'm shocked. Gvardiol, Edison, to be honest, their keeper did all right. Don't think he could have done much with the goal. So
it's just the message, isn't it? That they're in a soft spot. We know that coming into it, but this is a big game. They've got all that experience. For him to drop his first choice goalkeeper
and his best defender,
and to not call upon KDB to be starting as well. I know he's not quite the player he was now, but still, in this kind of a game. And the situation that they're coming into it, the form that they're on, I was a little taken aback by his selections, and maybe it's the superstitious side of me that you look, we're in good form, not giving away many chances. We're scoring goals. They're in poor form. They're giving away chances. They're not scoring many. The superstitious side says to me, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Everyone expects us to thump them, and it's going to be the other way around. But it
Mate,
really, they just lacked.
well.
They really lack self-belief, didn't they?
They do, and I think the manager does as well. If you think about it, I mean, I've never seen him react like that to the crowd. He does it to like the referees and the players, and with Klopp and stuff. But to the crowd to be pointing six, and I was just like, well, you're just telling us how many European Cups we've won. I mean,
exactly.
What's going on? You can't
thought that was
mate.
Yeah, that was magnanimous of him to remind us how many Champions Leagues we've won. Yeah, fair play.
I know. I mean, let's talk about the first goal then. We were finding so much space in behind them all game, first half, especially first half. Like I'd never seen. Also, Ake just couldn't get a hold of Mo, and like he did in the second half, and it was much better for him. But he found it really difficult to step on Mo at that point, and Mo was just getting the space, allowed to turn, run at players, and anyway, Mo finds himself in a whole load of space down the right. What a pass! I mean, that is incredible. Or is it a shot? What did you think?
Oh, I thought you were on about the Trent pass.
We'll go to that in a second. We're going to talk about Trent because he was fantastic.
He was until I think the last sort of 5-10 minutes that he was on the pitch, where I think you could tell he was getting tired. Obviously, his first game back for a while, or for a few weeks, he was starting to fatigue a little bit. But yeah, lovely through ball, lovely weighted through ball. But I think the two things on that, a part of that goal as well, it's the timing of the run from Salah as well. He doesn't go too early. He holds back comfortably onside. And not only that, I mean, whether it was a shot, whether it was a pass, I don't really care, I suppose. But compliments also to Cody Gakpo on him holding his run, because he ghosted in behind Kyle Walker. And as the German Sky that I was watching it on pointed out, Kyle Walker looks at him a few times. He knows he's there. He clocks him, but then switches off. And Gakpo goes in behind him, and he times his run absolutely perfectly to finish it off. And I guess it's just a measure of an example of just where we are at the moment. We're playing smartly as much as everything else that was in that first half. The intensity, the tempo of the game, the way that we were snapping into them and not giving them a moment. But also it's the quality on the ball and the smartness, our runs, positioning, everything. We look smarter as well this season.
I mean, G's Toast makes me laugh here. He goes, Mo was just asked about the Cody assist, being so good. And he said, yeah, it's because I'm a good player. Mo doesn't lack any confidence at all, does he, at the end of the day? I completely agree with you. It was perfect. The whole goal, the whole pass. That, to be honest, we deserved to go ahead early. We deserved to put our foot on the throat, and just all of it was magnificent. And then all the chances that followed. Not only that, the amount of times we turned the ball over and got around them, and we were taking some silly shots, outside the box as well, that were getting blocked or putting over the bar. That was frustrating me a little, because it was very unlike a Scott team. Earlier, I think the UP guys have said it, that we don't take those type of shots too much. But in this game, I think we were desperate to get that second goal at times, especially in that first half, while you're so much on top. And I think that's where the nerves came in from Liverpool fans as well, is that like, we need to get this second goal. We need to get on top of this. And, like Paul said, we looked so settled until they brought on Doku and Savinho. And, and then just, to be fair, what I thought was great, and we need to talk about this guy as well. Slot took Mo off and put Dom on the right, and Dom's pace was what was nullifying Doku then after that. Because whenever he got there, Dom was just snipping in front of him, picking the ball up, especially if Kwanzaa was around. Because obviously Kwanzaa doesn't have the pace, and we knew that, and that was the worry. But the smart little tactic there to put Dom out on the right then instead and bring Mo off. Those are the little things that I love that Slot brings in, and nullifies the opposition with those things, because Doku's fast, but hey, Dom's the fastest player in the Premier League, as our podcast, AI Under Pressure, will tell you. So make sure you listen to that, AnfieldIndex.com/join, to be an Anfield Index Pro member and join the podcast as well. So we do have a podcast service as well. But yeah, I mean, Dominic Szoboszlai then. Let's talk about this guy, because very much big time debate about him from everybody. But I think this is the game where you see the quality and the what he brings, the energy is what's needed at times for this team. And he has got it all, man. He was that first 30, 35 minutes. To be honest, even the second half, he was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was everywhere we needed him to be. And, you know, I just wanted to point out some praise for him because he's got so much stick in the past that I think he's just incredible. He's just been incredible for us, and he is a vital cog in this machine. The difference is that he's being used differently because he's being rested way more, so he can give us that energy in games with Curtis. So that's where the swap comes. So basically, Curtis played midweek. Dom didn't start. They swapped it this time. It's because both of those players are key to us to bring that energy, and you know, they bring something different in there. But still. Today, hats off to Dom, I thought.
Yeah, for me, he was my man of the match. Wow. I thought he was excellent. Right. I thought he tremendous. Everything. Like you say, he's been... It's a different kind of thing, isn't it, this season for him? Because he's been vital in how we play. And in some of them aspects, he's actually sacrificing his game in order to enable the rest of our team and to help out and to ensure that, you know, some of the deficiencies we might have off the ball and in terms of pace and recovery and mobility in the central midfield areas, he's been working his socks off to help and cover and you know, do some of that legwork for those guys. And at times, yeah, he has been criticised and fairly so for his lack of end product, and you know, sometimes the quality on the ball has not been up to the standard that we know he's capable of and that he can deliver. But there have been times this season where he has been doing both of it, and today was probably the best example of it. For me, I just thought he was. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. But Andy, you must agree though that sometimes players have roles in teams. And, you know, whilst we do want end product and the manager will want it, but the fact is he puts the shift in, and that's what gets us ticking and moving and winning. And if we're winning every game and his energy that he brings to the team is helping us win those games, regardless of what he's doing on the ball or not sometimes, you know, because that can go up and down. Surely that's what matters the most, is that he is a contributing factor to those wins because of the amount he's running, more than anyone in the game and in the team, the sprints, everything. So it's just, you know, I just want to put more praise on the guy for the amount of effort he puts in. And I always used to collect the pressing stats, obviously, back in the day. So I appreciate those things a little bit more. The guy works his socks off, and you know, actually today everyone did, I thought. Let's talk about Trent, Andy. What were your thoughts on Trent's return?
I thought he had a good game, and again, I think he's continued what has been for me has been an uptick this season in terms of his defensive work, back to where he was a couple of years ago, in that, you know, he was focused, he was concentrating, he was standing his man up well, he was there and vigilant and doing his defensive work, getting on the ball. I think he only had a couple of sloppy moments, you know, where he kind of just relaxes. And as much as anything, I think that's a guy who has got so much natural ability that it comes so easily that he doesn't have to think as much and focus as hard as other players perhaps do in terms of just actually passing the ball and doing certain things with the ball. That it's sometimes, you know, it maybe just doesn't quite come off and it looks a bit sloppy and it looks like he doesn't care. He's just such a naturally gifted player, and I thought he had a good game today. It was a real positive seeing him back and playing like he was, because obviously, like you say, you know, we don't have Bradley to cover him till probably the new year. We've got Ibu out till probably the new year, so we're a little bit stretched in terms of how much we can rotate there. So him being back and being robust is going to be vitally important. And I thought, for me, he put in a very good 60 to 65 minutes and then started to look a little tired. And credit to Anna Slot. I think he obviously recognised that and made what I think again was the smart move. I mean, I expected Gomez to switch across to right back and Kwanzaa just to slot in at centre back. But
nope.
Slot keeps doing these little things differently to what we might expect.
Just staying with Trent, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what the numbers are, and I hope the UP guys can bring it up this week on the show. But his one-on-one's better for sure. Trent's now, like, it's getting better with Slot. He did really well with Nunes in the first half. I thought Nunes in the first half. He stood up against him and then even against Doku, he got beaten once, but he pushed him back a couple of times and won it off him a couple of times as well. So even in that, he was doing pretty well against him. And then on ball, I mean, he just showed the pass of the night, to be honest, even though Mose was amazing as well and caught the goal. But the guy, I mean, there was another one, I think. There was actually one more that he passed around Ake and it went into Mose, into his trajectory of run. And then Ake cleared it out for a corner. So just some of those passes were sublime, man. I mean, straight back into it, first game back, bang, off we go. We're smashing it.
Another thing on Trent as well is because I feel like the last couple of years it seemed like we were just spamming crosses, like aimlessly crossing the ball at times. And Trent was obviously the players are being told to do it because Trent was just doing it, just aimlessly crossing, and he's not been doing that as much. But it might have been for one of the Virgil headers, but the ball came to him and he just so effortlessly just plays it in, and it was noticeable because we're not just aimlessly crossing the ball as much this season. So when we are crossing it, it seems like there's an actual purpose to it rather than we're just going to do it and try and smash. We just keep doing it until you submit or we smash the door in.
Yeah.
And his delivery, his passing, his focus, his diligence, it just excellent. What a contrast to the guy playing on the opposite team who was apparently the best right back in the league.
Did you see him trying to explain why he didn't mark Gakpo for the goal?
No, I haven't seen that yet. I just seen him stick his arms up in the air like, is he offside?
The offside, right? And while they were checking the offside, they was going to Walker, and he was explaining to Diaz first, then he was explaining to Bernardo, who, by the way, what a petulant little bastard. Yes. And I love the way Mo fronted him up, absolutely. And by the way, thank you, Bernie. Remember, everyone, please press like on the video. We'd appreciate it. We have Trent could have had a goal or two if it's not for some good locks. That's true, Jimmy.
Fair point, yeah.
And let's just do Mr. Hua as well here. Start interview mentions the VVD slip up immediately. Well, we don't. There's no emotion in this guy. It's like work only. He reminds me of Rafa in that way a little bit, where it's just, you did well, but what about that mistake? And I think it used to piss off Gerard. But I think we're in a different world to what the mindset used to be in football back then.
I think VVD's. I think Virgil's wired a bit differently to that as well. I don't think he needs that as much.
He should have fucking scored. That's what he should have done. It's got a hat trick.
It was that. I mean, the way he went straight to Kelleher, and it was thank you. It was I'm sorry, and thank you for digging me out of that one. Again, I mean, there's another one. Kelleher. We mentioned Alisson. He's the best goalkeeper in the world, but you wouldn't, and any other team, you're missing the best goalkeeper in the world, and you're going to miss him. We haven't missed him, and that's not a slight on Alisson. That's all credit to Kelleher. He's been excellent. He really has. And today, again, when we've needed him, he's been there. He stood up, and that big moment, what could have been a nervous last 5 minutes. He stood up, made that save, and what more can you ask?
To be honest, I want to check what that was, the shot quality of that one from De Bruyne. It was 0.4 XG, so
that's half their XG in one shot.
Half of their XG was in one shot, which is hilarious because that's how poor it was for them, man. You look at it, 3.35 versus 0.82 is a shellacking in what in what Dan Kennett would say from UB. That's a shellacking, absolute shellacking. So Mr. Wall says Ethan Becker versus Girona. Why not? Well, the Carabao and Girona, he could play both.
My only query from that first half is, where did Man City get 46% possession from? Or was it 44%, whatever? How did they have that much possession? I could have sworn it was about 30%.
Well, they had a lot more in the second half, mate. It was a completely different game.
Yeah.
And how did you feel while that was going on? Because we'd obviously missed a whole load of chances, so it felt a bit, it just didn't. I think all of us in Discord were a bit panicky at that point. Were you panicky watching at home?
I wasn't really panicky because of the way that the game was going. I think you've got to look. You have to understand that a team that good, regardless of whatever situation that they're in at the moment, a team that good is always going to have a period in the game where they're going to be on top. They're going to have some good moments. They're going to have possession. It's a part of football. Every team's going to have their moments in a game, and they're too good not to just have anything. So they were going to have a period that was going to come, and it was just a matter of how we dealt with it. And I thought that we were calm. We held a good structure. We were disciplined, and we restricted them to next to nothing, really. I mean, they, like you said, Doku and Savinho came on in the wide areas, and they did cause us a few problems in terms of getting behind us. And there was a couple of kind of little scrambles where the ball was loose in the area, but I didn't really feel worried. They didn't seem to be creating any sort of great opportunities, any standout moments, because you could pick out probably 4 or 5 opportunities that we created that you could go back and say we could have scored there or we should have done better there. And I don't recall them doing anything like that. So I was quite calm, to be honest.
I mean, fair play to you. I think if I watch it back, I'll be, if I watch it back with obviously, maybe if I didn't know the result and I was a neutral, you'd probably be quite calm, not thinking Liverpool were going to win that game anyway. Because you're right, they had a lot of the ball, but they didn't do much with it. They didn't create much. They were going down they were so soft in the center. Like we kept them breaking on them in the 7. That's where the penalty came from, actually, in the end. But they were so soft in the center that they had to keep going round. They kept to keep going around, and they just kept crossing it in, and we kept clearing it out, which was what Virgin Gomez kept doing really, really well. And luckily, the fullbacks, I think Robbo only got done once by Savinho, but he didn't get done at all otherwise. And then Trent got done once by Doku, but then also tidied him up a few times as well. So, the fullbacks actually did okay. Wasn't too bad in the end, which was good.
Just on the fullbacks, I mean, again, here's another one, Andy Robertson, who has had a poor season. Let's be honest. And really that's us, because we're measuring that against the Andy Robertson that we saw for so consistently for years at such a high level for us. And he's not quite that player anymore, and he's not had a particularly good season. I thought he was good today. I thought he was really good, and he's lucky not to have had an assist, because that ball he put through. That was sensational. That was Trent-esque, that pass.
Yeah, it was a great pass, and Nunes got it and just blocked the shot, didn't he? Because of those that was going towards goal as well. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought Robert was good today. Gundogan Bernardo, this is from Adi, again, on an AI alumni as well. Gundogan Bernardo, central pivot, reminded me of the worst of Hendo and Fab physicality of a bar of soap. Oh, Jesus. That's hilarious. Yeah, Mr. Wah agrees with you. Deserved the goal, that rubber pass. Definitely deserved a goal. We should have scored 2 or 3 or 4 maybe today and really rubbed it in. But what mattered most was those 3 points and what it means going forward. Like I said, the grind versus the hope. We need to still keep killing their hope. So we go again on Wednesday to try kill the hope again.
It's mad. It is mad to think, though, isn't it, that Virgil could have had a hat-trick, Cody could have had a couple more goals.
Yeah.
And Mo put one over the bar that you would normally expect him to finish.
Oh my goodness! Well, to be honest, Mo. Let's talk about Mo.
When have we ever really done that to Man City?
Mo was my man of the match for the goal and the assist. I know you went Dom, which is fine. I know a lot of people went VVD, but I went Mo just because it's another goal and assist. I can't remember whether that's level with Rooney now or going past Rooney as the most goals and assists in games in the Premier League. I think in less games as well, in fewer games as well. So
fewer
again,
games,
the Mo record keeps growing. I think at the end of the day, Yeah, he should have. First half, he had so much space. Second half, they really were all over him. If you notice, every outball from Kelleher, which seemed to be a plan, the Kelleher outball to Mo, he returned and off we went. He didn't have much support there. Ake was all over him. In fact, I think Mo got fouled so many times once again in the game and didn't get any free kicks. He got the first one of the night, and after that, he got nothing else. Nothing. It was disgraceful.
Including the one where he stood on his foot and took his boot off.
Yeah, I mean, he was pissed off, and that's why he fronted up with Bernardo. I love that. Loved it. Jimmy saying here that it could have been 5-0 if we were more clinical and they didn't make as many blocks. I think, and if Mo didn't miss the sitter, I agree. But hey, it didn't cost us in the end. Any other major talking points you want to talk about, Andy?
Just on that penalty, because I mean, one of them things of the first half for me was the recoveries. Like it felt watching it live as though that every time they had the ball, within seconds we were swarming them and we were winning it back. And then the penalty comes from that. You know, the fresh legs come on. Got Nunes working, you know, on them deep in possession. The ball breaks. Diaz is away. And then why they were crying so much for the penalty, I don't know. But is what leads. A part of it is it's like it epitomizes the game. The way that we won the ball off them, broke on them, created opportunities. So that was like the story of the game. And he catches him. It's a penalty, and all credit to Mo, stepping up again after missing that one midweek. It just.
I mean, I don't doubt him. I don't doubt him. I know a lot of people were nervous. I don't doubt him because he's just got this. He's that mentality guy. He's the monster, up there. He's now joint with Rooney on, 36. So there you go. Next time he does it, which he will do it before the end of the season. Sorry, he's going to be the number one guy for that stat in the Premier League. Thanks, Bernie, for that. I agree with you. It epitomized Liverpool that we've been watching. For a long time, especially with Jurgen. But the way you said it when we started the show, that's the best 45 minutes of a Liverpool team that you've watched for a long time, or even maybe years and years. And that's even talking about some Klopp some Klopp games, which is unfathomable.
It was right, it was right up there with them. It really was.
Yeah. Oh, Tad's here as well. Reckon they were crying on the pen to delay it being taken, puts more pressure on the taker. Yeah, Mo doesn't. Mo was doing pickups at that time.
Yeah, wasting your time. It's Mo Salah.
Andy, I wanted to say thank you very much. I think it's 10 years since you've been on AI as well, podcast. Like I said earlier, we're a big podcast channel as well. Andy has been with us for 10 years now. So it shows you how long the channel's been going. But on YouTube, we've only just started. So how you all supported us on the podcasting side, if you could all support us on the YouTube as well, it'd be great. We'll have great guests like Andy coming on as well every week. Or every game, so it's twice a week actually. But today is a bit short and sharp because I have to run. But Andy, once again, thank you so much, and thanks for being such a big part of AI whenever you can.
It's been a wonderful decade. It really has. We've been through so many highs together. It's been sensational, and and here's to many more. I may not be photogenic, but you can see the Christmas lights twinkling behind me.
There you go.
And the players, just like the players on the pitch, they are shining. So
they are shining. We are shining. Liverpool are shining right at the top of the Premier League and the Champions League. 9 points clear of Arsenal, 11 points clear of City.
Wow.
I mean, this is a dream. Let's go. Let's keep the momentum going on Wednesday and Saturday. We've got 2 more big games this week already. I mean, it's mad. I mean, it's going to be tough because there's not much recovery time, but make sure you watch all of the other content on YouTube. We've got the final whistle show coming in 15 or 10 minutes, and there's loads more shows coming on YouTube and on the podcasting side as well. Post-match Raw is being recorded right now for the podcast, so make sure you get on with those guys soon as well. Once again, Andy, thank you very much, and thank you all of you for leaving comments. Really appreciate it. And before we go, we need to put something in from Spider here. Photogenic. This is footy. I look like a hairy white from Extreme Daily. You're a grand kid. You're a grand kid.
Hey, Gags, thanks for having me on. And honest lot is to you.
Thank you very much. Here's to you, Reds. Up the Reds.
Yes.